So it's been a long day of grinding, and finally, we have Sylvio Sawatari unlocked. Well, we've got our missions done. You have to basically get 500,000 duel assessment points total across Arc 5 world, and so it took me like 170 duels around about stage 14, just naturally playing the game, and then you do these missions, and then you can actually get him. So it's more of a chore than actually being like a tough unlock. It just takes a lot of time to actually do. But there's some real funny stuff with him, like ended up in 5D's world and going through sector security there. So let's see his animation, see if it's any good. I'm super ultra hyper link Sylvia. That's a very good reference to the show. Superstar, which I don't believe we're getting because we didn't get any Abyss actors in the box, so this will be the only way we can play it right now. But I imagine the mini box, main box, like by November, we'll get a bit more. Pretty simple, straightforward animation, nothing too over the top, but you know it's nice enough. And there we go, Sylvio Sawatari unlocked. His skill is obviously not included by default. Let's see if he has anything good on him, because of course we are getting Mayu Senjo Daibok in the main box, a super rare. We've got Hito, I believe, as a super rare in the level ups, no, the gate drop, sorry. So let's see. And already, we're getting a Senju Shinchi R, which is the other version of the L, which we're getting via the gate drops, which is really cool. Pendulum effect once per turn, if you have a Senju card in your Art of Pendulum zone, you can make it become 11, and that means you can then summon out your Hito or your Daibok with these cards. You don't need to use them, you can just have a very wide scale with these. And his normal summon effect isn't terrible, right? His normal summon, it goes to defense mode and it becomes an attack target, which is fine, but your Senjus don't really like things being on the board anyway. At least with their trap cards, right? They don't want anything on the board, so this is kind of goes against that. But it's not a having a 2100 blocker that, if you pendulum summon it, it's fine. Then we have a level 7, the Monarch's Awaken, which is a very, very, very old event card. I think it was like a dual quest at some point that we've had, able to get for months now, years even. So not very impressed with having that again. I assume again we're going to be getting we're getting the ticket, which yeah, sure, as long as they don't kind of continue onwards from now on, then that'd be great, but probably will. Then we have Abyss Actor Funky Comedian, which is our first new Abyss Actor card. This is one of his mainstay kind of staples, scale 8. We're getting a lot of scale 8s actually, thinking about it. Like, Yuzu had Rainbowzu as a scale 8, I believe. Yeah, Rainbowzu scale 8, and we're getting this new Abyss Actor as a scale 8 as well, which isn't terrible. Once per turn you contribute one Abyss Actor you control, then target one Abyss Actor you control again. It gains the attack of the other one, which might be good for farm decks if we can somehow make an Abyss Actor farm deck in the future. That'd be pretty cool. And its normal summon effect is, another gains 300 for every Abyss Actor you control, so it comes out a little bit stronger, and also again has the same kind of copying effect as the actual Pendulum Scale effect, which again we're seeing at tons of these, these level up cards all have very similar effects, but their archetypes, like Years I believe has, again, something that does give you attack points both in the scale and as a monster effect, so it's kind of, they're following a similar trend with each character. Then for our second copy of Shinshu R, a second Monarch's Awaken, probably like my 29 billionth, second Funky Comedian, a first Hito. I was kind of, after Yuzu and Gong, expecting this to be the case, which isn't very good. A third Shinshu, a third one of this, and probably going to be a third Funky Comedian. So honestly, Yuzu got the best treatment in terms of reward cards. Maybe you're right with Olis Advanced Dragon, but Sylvio definitely comes in a very, he's not last at all. Like, he might be second, like joint second with Yu in terms of how usable his cards are. So let's go on to skills, of course, with the first one, Superstar of Abyss Actor, which is going to be giving us Abyss Actor Superstar and Script Opening Ceremony. Now, the big thing with Abyss Actors is that they have a field spell card that can rewrite your opponent's effects to make it so they destroy, back row you control, which then triggers this card, which would draw 5 cards. So that's kind of the game plan you want to go for, but we can't do that in Duel Links because we're not getting those cards. So right now, Abyss Actors just aren't really doing much. And, right, so this is at the beginning duel, add one of each to your deck, that's fine. Can be used once per duel if your extra deck contains 3 or more face-up Abyss Actor monsters, including 1 or more Superstar Add 1 superstar to hand from your deck or extra deck. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Then bounce my card back to your hand. In addition, you will then have a Master of 3 zones, which is fine. This isn't terrible, but right now, again, we barely have enough. We have like what, 7, including this card here. We have 7. No, we only have 1 monster, right? I believe that the only monster is this Abyss Actor Funky Comedian. So it's just useless right now to even try and play the skill. Then we have Attack Burst. This is probably a generic skill, but obviously just on Sylvia right now. Can only be used up until your 3rd turn, and once only that turn, select 1 monster you control. It gains 500 attack points, and at the end of the turn, it becomes 0. Very similar to Gong's Defense Burst skill, and it's terrible, so just kind of ignore it and forget it even happened. Blowing up Yosen. Select 1 Yosen training grounds you control and place a Senju counters on it, equal to the number of Senju monsters on your field, once per dual skill, and in addition, you make your zone's Master of 3. This is fine. Like, it's just giving you more counters on your card that already would have had like 3 counters on it during that turn anyway. So you're not really missing out much by using the skill. And to me, you'd use any other skill rather than this, so whatever. Neo Sylvio. This is a Monarch skill that changes a spell or trap card in your hand to either Frost Blast or Monarch's Awaken. Again, cards we have already in Duel Link, so not really fussed about this one, probably not going to be all that great. Neo New Sylvio though, ooh, this is your Yosenju skill. This one I think is probably going to be the one to play, getting Shinshu L, R, and Channeling, which is a brand new card we don't have in Duel Links yet, that can set the pendulum scales from the deck. So at the beginning of the duel, add 1 Shinshu L and R to the bottom of the deck. In addition, the following effect can be activated once per duel, after your life decreased by 2000. Bounce 1 Shinshu card in your hand to your deck and add 1 Orishi Challenging to your hand from outside your deck. That's really good. Because your Senjus by themselves, they don't, outside of Karma 3, they don't search the deck. So there's no real risk of you actually drawing into the Shinshu L and R. Because what they're doing is they're just summoning from the hand, they're special summoning very easily. Well, except with Tenki. So, but then you also bounce 1 card back, so if you did draw 1, then you'd be fine anyway. So this I think will become the brand new default standard skill for them. They don't need it, at least the deck right now that doesn't play Hita or Daibok. It doesn't need it right now, but maybe that changes with those cards in Duel Links and how they can blow up back row that your Senjus right now don't really have an option to do. At least going like, turn 2, they can't really do much outside of running Cosmics or MSTs, which you don't really want to do because that just kind of reduces the consistency of your deck, so yeah. Pendulum Booster though is another like generic skill, but only for him right now. If you have 2 cards in your pendulum zones during your turn, the attack of monster you control is increased by 50 times by the number of the highest pendulum scale on the field. Absolutely garbage. In most decks now it's going to be what, 8, which makes it 400. In your Senjus that's 11, which is 550. Not really that usable. Pendulum Draft can be used when your life points increased by 2k. Add 1 face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. That's not overly terrible if you want to have it back to use as a scale. But you can't summon the added card. Okay, yeah, you can't summon the added card to your hand by the skill or cards with the same name except by pendulum summoning, and you can't activate their effects. So I believe you can still scale them and have them as a scale, but you can't use their pendulum effect, which is really bad because most of the time you are going to want to get that effect off. So, okay, Pendulum Extra Charge can be used when you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, select 1 of them and add it to your face-up extra deck. You cannot special summon monsters other than Pendulum Summoning this turn. I guess if you have a card that has a monster effect you really want to use, right? It is just the same as the draft. You're just kind of doing the inverse, really, right? So it's okay. Sylvio Showstopper Performance can be used when life decreased by 1500. This skill can be used once per duel. Instead of collecting a normal draw an Abyss Actor or a Senju of your choice. Okay, maybe you'll actually use this skill over the Pendulum one because again, like, just your Senjus being able to draw into the Karma 1 or whatever whenever they want to, well, by 1500, is really big. So draw sets your Senju, very cool, and of course you're going to have 9 or more your Senjus in your deck, so you're going to be getting the Master of 3 Zones, and that works out quite nicely. So a Destiny Draw, the Ascendues or Abyss Actors, probably the best skill here. And finally, waiting for Abyss Actors, which is something we could be doing a lot because they're not, we can't play them right now. Add up to 2 Abyss Actor monsters in your hand to your face-up extra deck, once per dual skill. In addition, you just, again, have Master Rule 3. So, I don't really like this skill, but again, I don't know much about Abyss Actors to actually be able to comment on whether this actually works out, because we are still limited to 1 pen summon from the extra deck every turn. So, you can add up to 1, that's fine, just adding 1 back, you're not forced to put 2 back, which is great, but, just how Duel Links is doing Pendulum Summoning in some ways just isn't that great for these skills, but overall, very, very cool. That's kind of like the standard thing on the channel, but getting Shinshu R 3 copies, getting the Yasenju's, this one, the Draw Sense, and even the Neo New Sylvia one, definitely right now the best skills. I think I think Yuzu and Sylvio have the best skills by far, and then again card wise they also have had the best support. So yeah. But that is Sylvio finally done. That is all 4 Day 1 characters now unlocked. I'm going to go and probably die right now, because I'm very tired. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.